Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. To start things off, the cryptocurrency market cap has lost around $8 billion since yesterday, as many altcoins seem to be bleeding out per this article. Bitcoin remains relatively calm and is just sitting beneath 11,000 US dollars. Although Bitcoin dipped to $10,750 yesterday, the asset is back near the psychological $11,000 level. Most alts are trading in the red as the entire market cap has lost over $8 billion from yesterday's peak. After two consecutive rejections at around 11,000 US dollars, Bitcoin headed for a correction yesterday. The primary cryptocurrency dipped to its intraday low of around 10,750 US dollars on Binance. So apparently the last 2 days have been quite shaky for the cryptocurrency market. There was very few news and a lot of predictions kind of going around. What apparently seemed to happen was that Bitcoin tried to hit $11,000 again. I think we even actually went over $11,000 on the actual chart. And then apparently the price was once again rejected, air quotes, once again, falling back down. But it was kind of one of those really weird rejections that I've spoken about before, where the price will kind of drop down and everyone's like, oh my gosh, woe is Bitcoin. And then like an hour later, the price is $40 away from where it previously was before. For those of you not looking at the screen, this one says Bitcoin revving up for fresh breakout. This was said by Josh Rager. Here's what to watch. This one says, prominent analyst says XRP ready for long-awaited rally as Bitcoin and Ethereum bottom out. The news, main news, as it were, is that apparently the prices are trying to find their bottom right now. Not that for some reason they haven't been able to do it the last couple of months or the last year and some change, but apparently now this seems to be the it. Prices are moving downward, trying to figure out exactly where the bottom is, and apparently the market looks like it is gearing up for something absolutely fantastic. So saith the news. We're also getting a good amount of XRP rally news, that a lot of people think that XRP is going to try and reclaim between the 30 cents and 40 cents mark. For whatever reason, people are finding that on their charts, and of course a lot of people are remaining relatively optimistically bullish on Ethereum because apparently we are going to be receiving the upgrade in, 8 weeks? Rough time frame. That's around when November will happen. So, yeah, that's all the price news. Prices went down. The altcoins stayed down, and Bitcoin is relatively close to 11,000 once again. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, the Ethereum network has been placed under immense pressure to handle significant demand for its block space. Never heard that before. With users interacting with smart contracts, DEXs, and AMMs, directing massive transactional value or volume to the network. Same thing. This has resulted in high fees, the likes of which have never been seen before. That's the fees previously before on Bitcoin have reached $35 for a transaction, and I think Ethereum right now is around like $1.50, so little dramatic. These high fees have driven investors' capital towards other layer ones, with the debates mounting regarding which Ethereum killer may capture a sizable share of the market. That is TRON, Cardano, EOS, and there was one other one. I can't remember because I think the coin has completely fallen out of favor. This is what I was talking about before as well. I feel like, logically, if we were in a situation where we knew and have known for a while that Ethereum is going very slow and is not going to be picking up its full speed of pace until potentially 2022, that we probably would have seen a lot of other people building on top of other projects already. If we know that EOS can do, 1,500 transactions per second? I don't remember the exact number. And Tron allegedly can do between 5 to 10,000. I feel like already people would have chosen these as opposed to the 15 transactions per second Ethereum, but alas, here we are. One interesting trend that the DeFi craze has created for Ethereum, in addition to sky-high fees, is a migration of Ethereum tokens away from centralized exchanges and onto Ethereum smart contracts. Data reveals that there are now more Ether held within smart contracts than there are on centralized exchanges. That is incredibly weird. Do they even have the numbers around here? I do not see any numbers. But do you understand how significant that is, that people have taken off their Ethereum from exchanges and have swapped them into smart contracts on top of Ethereum? That is very significant. I don't know how long this trend is going to continue, or if it even is a trend, or if it's just a precursor of things that are going to continue happening. As we keep getting more DeFi coins, and boy, do I have news about those, that are constantly being created and put on top of Ethereum and stuff like that, more Ether has to be locked up. I do not expect this craze to end anytime soon, especially if any of these coins start to skyrocket and or Ethereum does get 2.0 and passes by the $600 mark. I assume more people are going to be throwing as much money onto the platform as humanly possible. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. I can't really go into an insane amount of detail without ranting and raving for a very long time, because I think eventually the market will correct itself. And I mean that in a positive term, because I already don't believe in the actual term correction. I don't believe that over the last 6-7 months, with trillions of dollars being printed around the world, dollar equivalents around the world, that Bitcoin falling down by $200 and then moving back up to $200 a couple of hours later was a correction. I think it's people pushing down the price, manipulating the price to gather more Bitcoin as they do see fit. So I think eventually, when all this news finally hits the airwaves, and people really understand what the shortening of supply of many of these coins means, I think the prices will correct higher, because that's correctly where they should be. So a lot of people keep touting the news that Ethereum is having congestion or moving very slow, or that the network fees are very high. We know these things. This is completely old news that's been around for some time now, unless maybe these people are just themselves getting into Ethereum and are just learning what the protocol actually does and how slow that it is. But the Ether supply being more on top of Ethereum smart contracts than on actual Binance, Coinbase, and Gemini twins and OKEX and all those, that's the major news of the Ethereum news today. A lot of people are digging, trying to, and I think this news will continue to spread out. I don't think this is going to be a one-trick pony. I think we've well past that. The entire idea the other day that we had one company who bought $500 million worth of Bitcoin because they were like, sure, let's do it, has caught the attention of a lot of other people. The Norwegian government pension fund, also known as the oil fund, has over $1 trillion in assets, including 1.4% of all global stocks and shares. That's nuts. It is considered the world's largest sovereign wealth fund. According to Arcane Research's report, on the 19th of September, the fund also owns around 600 Bitcoin through other investments. Arcane Research Analysis, data shows that the Norwegian oil fund has around 577 Bitcoin through its investments in business intelligence firm MicroStrategy. Yep, this puts the company's portfolio in Bitcoin around $6.3 million. The Norwegian government pension fund has a 1.51% stake in MicroStrategy as well. Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy founder, said in a recent tweet that the company owns around 38,000 Bitcoin. In addition, two other major investment advisory companies, BlackRock and Vanguard, have a 15% stake and a share of around 11% respectively. Once again, BlackRock has a 15% stake. BlackRock apparently has around 5,829 Bitcoin, and Vanguard has around 4,482 Bitcoin, respectively. Cointelegraph previously reported that BlackRock, as the biggest shareholder in MicroStrategy, indirectly holds Bitcoin as well. One of the discussions that I had with one of my friends is that when major companies or institutions decided to start holding Bitcoin, that they would have to do it publicly. And I told my friend there are many ways around that. He was like, no, I'm pretty sure legally that when you yourself own Bitcoin, that you have to declare it as a public thing to the public, stocks, bond, mutual funds, yada, 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 securities. And I said, I'm pretty sure there are always loopholes around that. So the fact that we know now that, of course, indirectly, because all you have to do is invest in something else that holds the thing that you want to hold yourself, but you are publicly not allowed to say out loud or do not want to say out loud. Look how happy these people are. Yes, we now know that the Norwegian government now holds Bitcoin indirectly. And that BlackRock and what was the other one? Vanguard also hold Bitcoin indirectly. Just how many other companies, guess, or just around, are probably doing the exact same thing. Probably holding some type of other fund so that they can also indirectly hold Bitcoin and or hold portions of or own portions of Coinbase or Binance or Gemini. Of course they own Bitcoin. Why would they not be? It just doesn't make any other logical sense. Anyway, the point is, yes, as I predicted before, they all hold Bitcoin indirectly, but I'm pretty sure even behind the scenes, other things are happening that we can't possibly begin to imagine. You can get someone to buy something for you and have it custodied indirectly, and it still belongs to you, but even though you've never purchased it yourself. There are many ways around these things. Have you ever heard of free ports, where you can buy art and other things and not have to pay taxes on them because you yourself have never really come into contact with them because they have gone through a free port and therefore no taxes have to be paid? Yeah. Anyway, of course this was happening. And without further ado, let's move on. What's the word? Adoption news. I'll use the word in adoption news. Crypto exchange Bitflyer Europe has announced an integration with PayPal. The move means Bitflyer users can now deposit euros using their PayPal accounts to buy crypto. Jack Baston, business strategy manager at Bitfly Europe, told the crypto news outlet The Block that what they had done is that they have integrated PayPal in the same way e-commerce websites would. The integration is all about removing barriers to entry. Jack Baston further noted that the payment giant PayPal is a dominant payment method in Europe with about 35% market share. This is a clear milestone for the crypto exchange as it enables their mission to make crypto more accessible for all, especially newcomers. As for how the integration would work in particular terms, who cares how the integration actually works as long as the PayPal has been integrated into this actual cryptocurrency exchange. This was very popular news. Is this the actual? Yeah, here's the actual yada yada. What's it called? The business. I don't know what to call it. The thing that they put out there where they talk about the things that they've been doing. It says Bitflyer Europe launches PayPal integration, meaning users can now deposit funds and purchase cryptocurrencies using their PayPal accounts. The news that we had a couple of months ago is that apparently PayPal themselves were planning on integrating Bitcoin payment options directly on their platform. Kind of weird because the news that we got from the insiders that was that apparently around this time of year, once we entered autumn, happy first day of autumn, everyone, that we would also get news that PayPal was also going to be allowing the purchasing of Bitcoin directly through their platform. So the timing seems a little odd, if you will. Anyway, this is incredible. Any type of new knocking down of a barrier of entry is absolutely great. I assume many other cryptocurrency exchanges are also going to be following suit very, very soon. If not, I think they're complete. I think it's a wasted opportunity is a nicer way of saying it because there are a lot of people who use PayPal. It's not just for eBay. There are many other. Nearly every website that I use in some form or fashion, if you scroll down to the bottom, they all have PayPal as a payment method. It's easy. It's simple. And I think if more people, especially if they have the actual integration of Bitcoin onto PayPal, which I feel like is coming. If not this month or next month, it's definitely somewhere around the corner because what was the news that we got? Tether does more volume than PayPal. Last year and the year before that, we had news that Bitcoin twice in a row beat out the amount of volume and transactions that PayPal actually was doing. It's nuts. So when you have Bitcoin and Tether beating you, it's time to, shake hands with your adversary. Anyway, that's the PayPal crypto exchange Bitflyer Business Wire news. And without further ado, let's move on. Also in adoption news, Crypterium cardholders can add their cards to Apple Pay and immediately access all of their benefits it provides. It is expected that Crypterium users will be able to add up to 5 cards per user. And why would you need 5 cards? Okay, for years. And I know there's one person who's going to tell me in the comment section why 5 cards is necessary for one person. And maybe I'm just old fashioned and just kind of think you need maybe 2 cards, like debit cards, not credit cards. For years, some people have claimed how cryptocurrencies will replace traditional finance. In recent times, it has become apparent that collaboration between both industries will be crucial. Crypterium has a partnership with Visa and is now looking to do the same with Apple Pay, positioning itself as a one-stop solution for all digital currency and banking needs. Crypterium has set an ambitious goal for itself. Not only is the firm exploring payment card services, but also wallet and bank transfer opportunities. Combining all of these aspects is what has the potential to make Crypterium a true crypto bank in the years to come. So I guess they're trying to be their own cryptocurrency bank, and I guess they have a Crypterium card already. Have partnered with Visa, and I guess the other thing is the ease of payments to make sure. I mean, I don't myself use Apple Pay, but I think Apple Pay is quite popular, ? I don't know anybody who uses it, but I feel like it's definitely a thing, or maybe just simply having the word Apple tagged near you. Like if someone's looking for Apple Pay and you come up in the search engines, I don't know. Anyway, adoption moves forward. We get news like this scattered around a couple times per week. I think this, like most other news, kind of flies over people's heads, but what have you. The little things help. Eventually, all the little things will be one gigantic thing. A lot of people won't even realize that all these things have happened, but it is quite fascinating how rapid adoption is in the cryptocurrency space. I will put it that way. Next up, I'm actually going to defend Justin Sun here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, crazy, right? The CEO of TRON, Justin Sun, has apologized on Twitter as a tweet claimed the TRON user database numbers are over 10 billion people rather than 10 million. Apparently, not even apparently, I'm just going to assume logically that this was an actual typo. Apparently, Justin Sun was talking about how many people are using TRON. He typed in 10B as opposed to 10M, and a lot of people think it's a marketing scheme. Listen, if the people from TRON and even Justin Sun are that nonsensical that they would think it's logical to write on Twitter, on social media, that there are 10 billion people using their project when there are 7.4 billion people on the planet, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. This was actually very popular news. A lot of people are very upset with Justin Sun. Like, I feel like you should be upset with the TRON people for all the 8 fake partnerships that they had. Remember when they said they had partnered with Amazon and they were using Amazon Web Services? I feel like that's something to be more upset about than him actually. Remember when he was talking with that podcaster? And he said that TRON is an SHIT coin outright multiple times and said, buy my crap coin, buy my crap coin. Nobody was upset with him. But you type in a B as opposed to an M. Like, how many of you don't know that we are not 10 billion people on this planet? You know that there are old people who don't use the internet? There are around there are 3 billion people on the planet who don't even have access to internet. Nonetheless, other financial services. We also have babies. People who are like 5 and 6 years old who probably also don't have TRON and aren't using TRON. I don't use TRON, and many of you don't use TRON. Where would he have gotten that number from? This is why I said I'm going to defend him just simply because, logic. Per the nature of a typo, the simple mistake would usually be considered minor and trivial, which it is. But critics have a different perspective because they have nothing else to do with their time. The company has been known for aggressive marketing in the past, and now critics believe this typo was in fact a marketing stunt to draw attention. Oh, not everything else that they were doing the last 3 years trying to promote themselves? But this, it's this. Do they have the tweet somewhere? Yes, right here. TRON users exceed 10B, next target 100B. Did you think that Justin Sun thought that the next target was 100 billion people on the planet? The cryptocurrency news every day gets dumber and dumber. And I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if maybe my mind has reformatted to some other thing. I can't figure out what it is. But the news every day just gets more and more ridiculous. I feel like one of the most popular news stories of the day should not have been that Justin Sun's finger slipped and typed in a B. I'm certain this man knew that there are not 100 billion people on this planet. So that's the TRON news for today. This is probably the only time you're going to hear me defend TRON and Justin Sun, because just logically, like, do you know the other things that are happening on this planet right now, and that's what you got upset about? Wow. 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 And to finish things off, in incredibly unsurprising news, I'll just read out the title for you. Creator of the project that surpassed $40,000 per token, that is Wi-Fi or Yearn Finance, is now backing a new DeFi project called Cover. Wow. Didn't see that coming. A lot of people who have been making these coins, making these protocols, making these projects, I'm sure you've noticed over the last couple of weeks, I give it 2 weeks, have started backing brand new coins and brand new projects and creating new things. The really crazy part is a lot of them are creating these things openly saying, I don't know what this guy said from Yearn, and I frankly just do not care. But a lot of the other ones have been saying out loud, yeah, you know, we made a couple of mistakes in the last protocol, so we're gonna ramp it up with version 3. Or we're gonna create a brand new one and lock up some more coins. And it's like, you just created the other one a week ago. What happened to the other crap you made? You're not gonna keep building your crappy statue? So the news is that yeah, the guy who made Yearn Fi or Wi-Fi is going to be backing a new coin called Cover. No one should be surprised. What was that coin that we had? I think it must have been 2018. It was the coin where someone, gosh, what was it? Someone created a coin that only had, I think, 100 coins as the circulating supply. And I think like one was given to the creator, one was given to so-and-so, which was still complete nonsense because they tried to talk about decentralization after giving themselves the coin. That coin shot up very high as well, similar to Yearn Fi, because there were so few coins. If you have 100 coins, of course, the price of the coin is going to rise higher. And then I think a week later, they were like, yeah, we're also going to be creating a brand new coin. And then I think they created 4 coins that year. And I was like, no one sees these crappy things being made. Also on top of that, Cream Coin, also known as Cream Finance, that is CREAM, cash rules everything around me. Finance has soared by 130%. Why, you might ask? Because they burned 67% of their total supply. Can you imagine what would happen? And it can't happen because, you know, decentralized. Once again, DeFi, decentralized, burning 67% of their total token supply. If someone burned 67% of all Bitcoin. Imagine if Ripple was like, hey, all the XRP we have, dumpster fire, we're going to just burn it right now. Of course, the coin's price would skyrocket. So also relatively popular news today. Not as popular as Justin Sun having a typo, but still quite popular, was that Cream skyrocketed in price. How great Cream is, and everyone is buying Cream because Cream is creamy. Come to find out, they burned 60. That means that they were controlling more than 50% of their tokens. Once again, DeFi. Once again, decentralized finance. And that's all the DeFi news that we have. I promise you, there was a lot more. There are a lot of new coins coming out. There are like new forks of other coins. There's a lot of people who are creating these protocols who have already stepped away from those projects, have given control of it to someone else. And because the project did so well during its first 4 days of being birthed, they have now created brand new projects. So, you know, look forward to those as well. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbite University. Gonna take a big breath. Hold on. Tolek Banan, Snacky Chan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Decentralized Peter, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyo, Nostromo, John Sarsi, the Animal Reader, a Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohamaroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight, Owl 242 to the world, Crypto Joe, couldn't do it. Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Damian Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangela, Vori, Anthony, Charles, Jim Gardner, Jamie Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Chest Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McButtface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Arf Medic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Machonisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. A little lightheaded. Took a lot of breaths there. At the moment, Bitcoin's price is $10,859 US. There's a dip right here, but we are 0.76% from that 11,000 US dollars. Polkadot is down by around 10%. Chainlink is down by around 9%. Cryptocurrency markets in red. Any anomalies? Nope. It's a stable coin. Neo's down. Nem is up because why not? Cosmos is down. Yearn Finance is only, air quotes, at around $25,000 per coin. It is down by almost 15%. I wonder why. I am in the process of wondering why. Lend is down by 15%. UMA's down by 10%. Unicorn Coin, which my friend and I had a little chuckle about yesterday, realizing that the actual image is of a pink unicorn, is down by 10% as well. Ontology's down. Digibyte's up by 15%. Sure. Why not at this point? And I think that's about it. Yeah, cryptocurrency markets in red. I assume by Wednesday we'll have some type of news that Bitcoin is showing bullish signs, and those bullish signs will lead us to a price increase, and then that price increase will happen, and then we'll start getting news from about 3 analysts talking about that Bitcoin is overvalued and needs to bottom out once again for people to be able to accumulate, and some other type of news that we're going to end up having because no one knows where the prices are going. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I'm actually glad that there's very, very few price news. I almost said noise news. Doesn't make any sense. Price news the last couple of, and I'd say like two weeks has been. Usually we got like a whole avalanche of where people thought the prices were going. But it's very difficult to predict that we're going to have, $900 million Bitcoins when the price is kind of trending completely sideways. We know that people are still accumulating. That is not new and or old news, but they're accumulating at such rapid amounts. If you didn't get to hear that podcast, once again, that I spoke about in the last video on Pompliano. Pompliano had that guy who spent $500 million on Bitcoin. He was explaining how they purchased $500 million worth of Bitcoin without even moving the price. It was just absolutely fantastic how they explained it. And this is what happens all the time. I think a lot of times, I understand the frustration. I believe me, I do. And I've seen people chatting about it all across the interwebs, not just here. How could people buy so much Bitcoin but not move the price? A lot of people think it's scammy or something is something fraudulent must be happening. No, they're just called over-the-counter markets. And just figuring out how to, get in contact with people, calling the right kind of person and being like, hey, I have X amount of money. You have Y amount of Bitcoin, and I would like to gather as much as I possibly can. It's quite fascinating. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hour long podcast, but it's a great listen just to hear where this guy who's been into finance for such a long time and all of his buddies, where they see the world economically going. Once again, one company, $500 million in Bitcoin over the course of like 3 days. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, or great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Hope you have a great Monday. Hope you have a great start to your week. Hope you have whatever you need to get through this time. The world is a mess. And it's only going to get messier. And I promise you, it's just not within your country, within your borders. It is everywhere right now. But yes, thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly, without a doubt, be talking to you all soon. See